The reason you are still broke is not because the world is unfair. It's not because rich people are lucky. It's not because the economy is against you. You are poor because your mindset has been programmed for comfort instead of growth. Most people wake up every morning already defeated. Before their feet even touch the floor, their minds are filled with excuses. I'm tired. I'll start tomorrow. I don't have enough time. Maybe one day. That weak internal conversation destroys success before the day even begins. Your life changes the moment your mindset changes, because money follows mentality. A broke mindset creates broke habits, and broke habits create a broke life. That's why some people stay stuck for years, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack mental toughness. They want millionaire results with average discipline. They want success without sacrifice. They want wealth while still living comfortably. But life doesn't reward comfort. The world rewards people who can suffer longer than everyone else. The people who wake up early when nobody is watching. The people who work when they don't feel motivated. The people who stay focused while everybody else is distracted. That's the difference between winners and losers. Winners train their minds. Losers protect their comfort. And comfort is dangerous. Comfort tells you to sleep instead of work. Comfort tells you to scroll social media instead of building your future. Comfort whispers excuses into your mind every single day. It's okay to quit. It's okay to waste time. You deserve a break. Meanwhile, someone else is grinding. Someone else is learning skills. Someone else is becoming stronger while you are becoming softer. That's why your mindset matters more than your circumstances. Because two people can start from the same place and end up in completely different lives. One person becomes powerful. The other becomes bitter. One person learns skills. The other learns excuses. One person says, I'll find a way. The other says, life is unfair. And after 10 years, their lives look nothing alike. Your brain is either your greatest weapon or your biggest prison. Most people live inside self-created prisons. They imprison themselves with fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of discomfort. So instead of chasing greatness, they chase safety. But safety never made anyone rich. Every successful person you admire had to become obsessed with growth, obsessed with discipline, obsessed with becoming mentally stronger than their excuses. Because the truth is brutal. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your mindset. If your mindset is weak, your life will eventually collapse under pressure. That's why some people make money and lose it immediately, because their mentality never evolved with their income. Poor mindset, bigger paycheck, same broken life. They still think small, still spend emotionally, still avoid responsibility, still blame other people, and then they wonder why success disappears. Your income can only grow to the level your mind can handle. That's why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Motivation disappears when life gets hard. Discipline keeps moving anyway. And let's be honest, most people are mentally weak. The average person cannot handle discomfort for even 1 hour. They need entertainment constantly. They need validation constantly. They need pleasure constantly. Their minds are addicted to easy dopamine, fast food, scrolling, excuses, laziness, and every addiction to comfort destroys your ability to build wealth, because wealth requires patience. Wealth requires sacrifice. Wealth requires becoming the kind of person who can delay gratification while everybody else chases instant pleasure. That's why financially successful people think differently. When they earn money, they invest. When average people earn money, they consume. One mindset builds freedom. The other builds dependency. Poor-minded people ask, what can I buy? Rich-minded people ask, what can I build? That single shift can change your entire future, because building creates power, building skills, building discipline, building knowledge. Meanwhile, weak-minded people keep chasing appearances. They want to look successful before becoming successful. Expensive clothes, expensive phones, fake lifestyles, everything for attention, nothing for freedom. You need to stop thinking like the average man. Average thinking creates average income. Average habits create average results. Average discipline creates average lives. And average people always have excuses ready. It's too hard. It takes too long. I'll do it later. Later is where dreams go to die. Your future is built by what you do now, not tomorrow. Every hour matters. Every decision matters. Every habit matters. Because success is not an event. It's an identity. And if you truly want wealth, if you truly want freedom, then your mindset must evolve first. Right now, most people think money will solve their problems. They believe that once they become rich, everything will finally change. The stress will disappear. The confidence will appear. Life will suddenly feel meaningful. But they are wrong. Money only amplifies who you already are. If you are lazy with little money, you will be lazy with a lot of money. If you are undisciplined now, you will stay undisciplined later. If your mindset is weak, wealth will not save you. That is why mindset comes first. Because before you can build wealth, you must build yourself. And that process is painful. Nobody talks about the loneliness required for greatness. Nobody talks about the sacrifices needed to escape an average life. While everybody else is partying, you are working. While everybody else is sleeping, you are improving. While everybody else is wasting years, you are building a future. That lifestyle is not easy, but neither is being broke. Choose your pain carefully. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. One day you will either thank yourself for staying focused or hate yourself for wasting your potential. And deep down, you already know the truth. You know when you are being lazy. You know when you are wasting time. You know when fear is controlling your decisions. But instead of fixing the problem, most people distract themselves from reality. They watch entertainment for hours. They scroll endlessly. They consume content instead of creating value, because distraction feels easier than self-improvement. But every distraction steals your future. Every wasted day pushes your dreams further away. Time is the one thing you can never recover. You can lose money and make it back. You can fail and try again. But wasted years never return. That should scare you. Because right now, there are people your age becoming financially free, while others are still making excuses. The difference is mindset. Successful people think long-term. Weak-minded people think short-term. Weak people chase temporary pleasure. Strong people chase permanent growth. That's why mentally tough people are rare. Most people only work hard when they feel inspired. But inspiration is unreliable. Real growth happens when you work without motivation, when you wake up tired and still move forward, when life hits hard and you still stay disciplined, when nobody supports you and you continue anyway. That is what separates dangerous people from average people. Average people need applause. Powerful people need progress. And understand this clearly. Your environment affects your mindset. If you surround yourself with lazy people, your standards become lazy. If you surround yourself with complainers, your thinking becomes negative. If you spend time with people who hate ambition, they will slowly destroy yours too. Energy is contagious. That's why you must protect your mind at all costs. Protect it from negativity. Protect it from weak thinking. Protect it from people who normalize mediocrity. Because the moment you start thinking bigger, average people become uncomfortable. They will call you obsessed. They will call you unrealistic. They will laugh at your goals. Not because your dreams are impossible, but because your ambition reminds them of their own excuses. Never shrink your vision to fit small-minded people. Most people stay broke because they are terrified of taking risks. They wait for certainty before making moves. They want guarantees before taking action. But success has never been safe. Every entrepreneur risks failure. Every winner risks embarrassment. Every successful person risks criticism. If you cannot handle risk, you cannot handle growth. Fear is part of the journey. The difference is that strong-minded people act despite fear, while weak-minded people surrender to it. And the longer you avoid fear, the weaker you become. Confidence is built through action, not thinking, not wishing, not planning forever. Action. Every difficult thing you do strengthens your mindset. Every challenge you survive builds mental armor. That's why suffering can become your greatest advantage. Pain teaches discipline. Failure teaches wisdom. Struggle teaches resilience. Weak people avoid struggle. Strong people are shaped by it. So stop asking why life is hard. Life is hard for everyone. The question is, will you become stronger because of it or weaker? Because every single day, your habits are building your future identity. When you wake up early, you build discipline. When you study, you build knowledge. When you stay focused, you build self-respect. And self-respect changes everything. People who respect themselves stop tolerating laziness. They stop making excuses. They stop accepting average lives. They demand more from themselves. That is where real transformation begins. Not when you become rich. Not when people believe in you. It begins the moment you decide that your excuses are no longer acceptable. Because your current mindset created your current reality. And if you want a different life tomorrow, you must become a different person today. Most people dream about success, but very few are willing to become the person required to achieve it. That is the real problem. Everybody wants the reward. Nobody wants a process. They want money without discipline. They want confidence without struggle. They want results without sacrifice. But success is built in silence. It is built during the mornings when you don't feel like waking up, during the nights when you are exhausted but still continue working, during the moments when nobody believes in you and you still refuse to quit. That is where winners are created, not in comfort, not in motivation, in pressure. Pressure reveals who you really are. Weak-minded people break under pressure. Strong-minded people grow from it. And the scary part is this. Most people never discover their true potential because they quit too early. The moment life becomes difficult, they retreat back to comfort, back to excuses, back to distractions, back to average habits. Then years pass, and they wonder why nothing changed. Nothing changed because they never changed. Your future depends on your standards. If your standards are low, your life will stay low. People who tolerate laziness become lazy. People who tolerate weakness become weak. People who tolerate average behavior create average lives. That's why discipline is everything. Discipline forces you to act when emotions try to stop you, because feelings cannot be trusted. Some days you will feel motivated. Other days you will feel tired, frustrated, and lost. But winners move regardless of emotions. That is what makes them different. They understand that success is not built through occasional effort. It is built through consistency. Small actions repeated every day create massive results over time. One workout will not transform your body. One business idea will not make you rich. One productive day will not change your life. But repeated daily discipline will. That is how powerful people are created. They master the boring fundamentals while everybody else searches for shortcuts. And shortcuts are dangerous. Most people want quick money, quick success, and quick results. They are addicted to instant gratification. But anything built quickly usually collapses quickly. Real wealth takes time. Real growth takes patience. Real transformation takes suffering. That is why mentally weak people quit. They underestimate how long success actually takes. The moment results are delayed, they lose focus. But strong-minded people stay committed even when they see no immediate reward, because they understand something average people never learn. Your habits are shaping your identity every single day. Every time you keep your word to yourself, you become stronger. Every time you break promises to yourself, you become weaker. Self-trust is everything. If you cannot trust yourself to stay disciplined, how can you expect yourself to build a powerful life? The truth is, your biggest enemy is not other people. It is your own lack of control, your inability to focus, your addiction to comfort, your habit of procrastination. And until you conquer yourself, you will never conquer life. That's why self-mastery is the foundation of wealth. A focused mind creates opportunities. A disciplined mind creates consistency. A strong mind creates freedom. Most people are slaves to their emotions. If they feel tired, they stop. If they feel stressed, they quit. If they feel afraid, they run away. But mentally strong people control their emotions instead of being controlled by them. They understand that temporary discomfort is the price of long-term success. Nothing valuable comes easy. And if you want a life that most people can only dream about, you must be willing to live in a way most people never will. That means sacrificing entertainment for education, sacrificing comfort for growth, sacrificing excuses for accountability. Because every excuse weakens your future. Excuses might protect your ego today, but they destroy your potential tomorrow. At some point, you must decide what matters more, your comfort or your future. Because you cannot keep living the same way and expect a different outcome. The mindset that keeps you broke is the mindset that avoids responsibility. The moment you take ownership of your life, everything changes. You stop blaming the economy. You stop blaming your past. You stop blaming other people. And you finally understand that your future is your responsibility. That realization is powerful. Because once you fully control your mindset, nobody can stop you anymore. One day you will look back at your life and realize something painful. You either controlled your mind or your mind controlled you. Most people never take control. They spend their entire lives reacting instead of leading, following instead of building, complaining instead of improving. And in the end, they become prisoners of their own habits. A weak mindset creates a weak reality. That is why changing your life always starts internally before it happens externally. Before the money comes, the discipline must come. Before the success appears, the mindset must evolve. Before the world respects you, you must respect yourself. And self-respect is built through action. Every time you wake up early, you build it. Every time you stay disciplined, you build it. Every time you do what is hard instead of what is easy, you build it. That is how confidence is created. Not by talking, not by wishing, by proving to yourself that you can handle difficulty. Because deep inside, you already know what needs to change. You know the habits destroying your future. You know the distractions stealing your time. You know the excuses keeping you weak. The question is not whether you know better. The question is whether you are finally ready to act. Because information alone changes nothing. Millions of people watch motivational videos every day and still stay stuck. Why? Because motivation without action is entertainment. Real transformation begins when discipline becomes part of your identity. When working hard is no longer optional. When excuses are no longer acceptable. When growth becomes your lifestyle. That is when your life starts changing rapidly. And understand this clearly. Nobody is going to hand you freedom. Nobody is coming to rescue your dreams. If you want wealth, you must earn it. If you want strength, you must build it. If you want a better future, you must create it yourself. That responsibility scares weak people, but strong people embrace it because responsibility gives you power. The moment you stop blaming everyone else, you take control back. The moment you stop acting like a victim, you become dangerous. And dangerous people are disciplined people. They control their focus. They control their habits. They control their emotions. While average people waste years chasing comfort, disciplined people build lives of freedom. That is why mindset is everything. A poor mindset keeps you trapped in survival mode. A strong mindset pushes you toward growth, ownership, and success. Your thoughts shape your decisions. Your decisions shape your habits. Your habits shape your future. So if you want to change your future, you must first change the way you think. Stop thinking like someone who wants shortcuts. Stop thinking like someone who fears hard work. Stop thinking like someone waiting for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions do not exist. There will always be stress. There will always be obstacles. There will always be moments where quitting feels easier. But winners keep moving anyway. That is why they win. Because they understand that temporary pain is worth permanent growth. Years from now, you'll either live with pride or live with regret. Pride comes from discipline. Regret comes from excuses. So make a decision today. Decide to become mentally stronger. Decide to stop wasting time. Decide to build habits that create freedom instead of weakness. Because your current mindset can either destroy your future or build a life most people only dream about. And the choice has always been yours. A Mujahid descript